Hello there, Mary.
Hey,
Hi, how are you?
I am good.
Good, good. I'm actually, it's really fun here as we get things started off with, um, hey, I'm enjoying that we and you are getting some time together, to be in these spaces and to play out, right? Um,
hmm
it's fun for me because, how do I say it? I'm both grateful and I want to also acknowledge you. Like the gratitude that I have is like I'm glad that I get to spend time with Mary and like this is there's time on the calendar where I'm available to be of support and also to be in conversation with people, and so I'm really grateful that I get to be in conversation with you and that you're like I'm gonna take him up on this. Like if he's there, I'm gonna be there. And there was a time that you came in and I wasn't there, and you're like, "Hey, where are you?" You know, and I really I'm really taking that in. Um, I'm grateful for that because I'm like, it's good to be in these conversations. As the World Joy movement is getting started, it also is good for me to see like, how do I say it? I am learning how one single person, can actually change everything. All right, because, and I'm not like, there's no, how do I say it? I'm going to share something with you because I want to share it with you specifically. You're the person that I would like to acknowledge and share it with. Um, but it doesn't mean that we need to that there's any obligation. You don't even need to stay for the rest of this conversation. But you are here, and I am feeling this, and I want to make sure that I express it because um, you may not know the impact that you're having, and I want to let you know the impact that you're having that's beyond the time that we spend here together. Are you good with that?
I'm good.
All right, cool. I'm like, welcome to the conversation. Boom, here we go. Right. Um, the what I want to make sure I'm communicating is like how one person can this movement is going to continue to grow. And as time goes on, I'm seeing different people come and join a single session, or like there may be times we have more than one person that's there. And it's actually really interesting being at this, like in the beginning stages of this, seeing just like who's come in, what's getting people there, what's happening in our systems to make sure people know in advance, what are we doing with our timing, so on and so forth. Starting next week, we'll be having probably about 2 sessions a day, one in your morning, one in your evening, so that we can get just a little bit more variety in terms of people's choices and time, right? Um, and there's an infinite difference between having one person show up whenever she's able to show up, or whenever she feels like showing up, right? Whenever she feels called to, and no one's showing up. There's an infinite difference. Like there's a knowing within me of like, oh, okay, great. Like the movement's moving. Like there's not only is there hypothetical value, but like when you and I come together, every time we talk, there's something new that comes out of the conversation for both of us. And my general thing is it gives me a chance it's important right now as I'm setting out with vision and purpose, to have essentially the first follower, right? Who's like, great, you're dancing, you're a lone nut making all these conversations, at this time of day, and you're picking up topics and whatever it is. I'll be your first follower. I'll come dance along with you, you know. And I want to. That's what I want to acknowledge. I want to acknowledge you for being such a. I wouldn't say my gratitude for you being the first follower. Um, there are things that I'm developing. There are things that come out of our conversations that actually, and this is how I operate. It's like that's going to shape what comes next. It's like we talked about this here. Awesome. Like let's bring this. Like because of our conversations, I'm like I'm going to bring coaching into this space. I wasn't planning on it before. I wasn't really sure if it was going to like really be here. I was like, no, I think coaching really works in this space here. There's a lot that comes from it. So I want to acknowledge you from the standpoint, especially because in the World Joy movement, a lot of us are figuring out how do we make our impact in the world. Like, so our conversations are like helping, like seeing the different visions and that we have, and how do we bring that vision and start bringing it out to life in different ways. And I want to just like reflect back right now, just like the impact of that of one person, how much energy like that continues to give me specifically, and then what and then the movement overall as it's fueling things and getting things out into the world. So that is, I needed to acknowledge you. I'm glad to acknowledge you. I'm glad that we can be in this conversation. Please don't feel any obligation in any way. Just keep doing whatever you're doing, like in terms of when you decide to come or not. But I want to just make sure I spoke that because it's been the two of us in a number of conversations as we get started. And at the same time, like for me, I feel complete every single time.
It's the World Joy Movement. Yeah. What was your greatest insight from this conversation? And if you want to come and be a part of a conversation like this live, it's really simple. Just go to beworldjoy.com and come introduce yourself and let's take the conversation to the next level because you're there now. All right, let's play.